Namaskar and a very good afternoon to all our guests. As we get set to begin, may I please request all our guests in the pre-function area and inside the hall to please take a seat. And a humble reminder to each of you to please put your cell phones on the silent mode for the duration of the inaugural program. May I please request all our guests to settle down. Namaskar, a very good afternoon and a very warm welcome to CLFMA of India, Association of Livestock Industries. As we look behind, the last couple of years have been very, very difficult for the world across and more so for our industry. But here, we're together yet again, sharing these brilliant
We at CLFMA of India are fully committed to manufacturing and supplying high quality, safe and conversion efficient animal feeds to livestock farmers at affordable prices.
It is the commitment to this cause that has helped CLFMA build a formidable reputation in relationship management with the government. CLFMA today enables funding and investments in the livestock and animal feed sector. It aids the development of livestock farmers and other stakeholders by helping facilitate exports and imports as needed by the sector. Government of India to help put in place regulatory frameworks and coordinate with ports for easy access. Its views are solicited by the government while formulating constructive policies for the livestock sector. CLFMA is the voice of the dynamic livestock sector of India. Its representations to the government include initiatives such as raising farmer issues, raising manufacturer issues to the government, developing educational programs, conducting training programs showcasing new technologies, connecting feed manufacturers with government policymakers.
We are proud of some of our achievements over the last 55 years. The feather in our cap has been the feed additive list that was approved in August 2020 by Government of India after long 8 years. Last year, we appealed to the Government of India to control the price inflation of soybean, which is used as a protein source for animal feed. And we received a very positive response in terms of getting an import permit of 12 lakh metric tons and limit on the overstocking. This really helped many of our farmers and livestock industry. From CLFMA, we actively participate with many of the Government of India policies and pioneer to implement through our members. One such initiative is Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund, where many of our members got benefited. We have CLFMA representation on the National Advisory Committee for Livestock, and also we keep giving inputs time to time to BIS and FSSAI.
Well, that was about us. A round of applause for what CLFMA of India has been doing over the years, decades and decades. All here are the game changers of the industry. So a round of applause for all of you all for the work that you have been doing. And I think today is a very special day for each of us. At our 63rd National Symposium, we are privileged by the kind presence of our chief guest. We are so very thankful to Shri Parshottam Rupalaji, Honorable Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Ministry of Fishery, AH&D, Government of India. So may I please request Mr. Neeraj Kumar Srivastava, Chairman, CLFMA of India, to escort Sir here on the dais amongst applauses from all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our chief guest, Shri Parshottam Rupalaji, Honorable Minister of Fishery, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Ministry of Fishery, AH&D, Government of India. Namaskar, sir. Please have a seat. May I also request Mr. Neeraj stage. As I extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Suresh Deora, Convener and Honorable Secretary of CLFMA of India, and may I please request him to escort Shri Jatinder Nath Swainji, IAS Secretary, Fishery, Ministry of Fishery, EH&D, Government of India. A round of applause as we thank Sir for his kind presence. May I now request Mr. Divya Kumar Gulati, Deputy Chairman, CLFMA of India, to please join us and extend a very warm welcome to Shri Baldev Singh Yadav, Managing Director, Godrej Agrovet Limited. A round of applause as I request the gentleman to join us here on stage and take a seat. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a round of applause for all our dignitaries right here on stage. They often say that everything bright starts with a ray of hope, with the Almighty's presence. And as per our traditions go, we'd like to thank the Almighty as we take the blessings to move forward to a very auspicious beginning. May I please request our dignitaries to join us for the auspicious lamp lighting ceremony with the chants of the Ganesh Vandana. A round of applause as I request our chief guest, Shri Purushottam Rupala ji, our guest of honor, Shri Jatinder Nath Swainji, Shri Balram Singh Yadav ji, along with our office bearers, Mr. Neeraj Kumar Srivastava, Mr. Suresh Deora, Mr. Divya Kumar Gulati, to please join us in doing the honors. With Ganpati's name, as we look forward to this beautiful beginning, and as we thank all of you for doing the honors, it is now time for acknowledge and thank our dignitaries for their very kind presence. It is often said that flowers spread life like no other, and we'd like to present our dignitaries with a floral welcome along with honoring them as per the Indian traditions. May I please request all of you to put your hands together as I request Mr. Neeraj Kumar Srivastava to thank our chief guest, Shri Purushottam Rupala ji, for his kind presence. आज फूलों के सहित आपका अभिनंदन करना चाहेंगे और साथ ही साथ आपको एक शॉल अर्पित कर नारियल के सहित यहाँ इस शुभ घड़ी में आगे बढ़ाना चाहेंगे इस साथ को. So may I please request for the traditional Indian shawl as we spread warmth, our affection. A round of applause as Mr. Neeraj Kumar Srivastava presents Honorable Minister Sir with a shawl. May we please request for a memento as well. As we create beautiful moments to be captured, sir, a token of our appreciation, so we remember this day and we mark it in our memory. May I now request Mr. Suresh Deora to please acknowledge and extend a very warm welcome to Shri Jatinder Nath Swain. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause as we present sir with a bouquet of flowers. We thank you, sir, for your presence, and we much look forward to listening to you. We'd now like to present you with the traditional Indian shawl. अक्सर कहा जाता है कि यूँ इस तरह आदर प्रदान करने से ज़िंदगी में ये जो साथ है ये और भी खास बन जाता है. So we thank you, sir. A coconut as we look forward to carrying forward our traditions. And may I please request for a memento that we'd like to present Shri Jatinder Nath Swainji. We thank you so very much, sir. A round of applause from our kind audience. Thank you so very much, sir, for joining us. And thank you, Mr. Deora, for doing the honors. May I now request Mr. Divya Kumar Gulati to please extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Balram Singh Yadav. A round of applause for a leader like no other who's created such a difference in the industry with the work done at Godrej Agrovet Limited. We thank you, sir, and we are humbled by your kind presence. Thank you so very much for joining us. May I please request all of you to put your hands together as we spread warmth and love in Sir's life by presenting him with a token of our appreciation. A coconut taking forward these traditions and a memento. May I please request all of you to put your hands together as we capture it, and a team to please pack all of this and make sure that it's ready for our dignitaries. Thank you so very much. And as we look forward to this theme going ahead, changing dynamics of animal agriculture in India, and as we look forward to really interacting over these 2 days, learning a lot more, exchanging ideas, sharing experiences, ideating, innovating, and executing at the same time, to present a very warm welcome to each of you right here and to thank you for joining us from across the country, may I please request Mr. Suresh Deora, Convener and Honorable Secretary, CLFMA of India, to join me right here at the podium. A round of applause for him, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to extend a warm welcome on behalf of CLFMA and myself to all present in this hall. I would like to welcome Shri Purushottam Rupalaji, our chief guest for the day, Honorable Minister for Fishery, Animal Husbandry, Dairy and Dairy for Government of India, to our 63rd National Symposium, inaugural function of 63rd National Symposium. Rupalaji has been a big supporter of animal farmer right from the beginning, whether it was Gujarat or now the whole of India, and a guiding force behind various welfare schemes for the betterment of farmer and feed and allied. I would like to welcome Shri Jatinder Nath Swain, Secretary Fishery, Ministry of Fishery, Animal Husbandry and Dairy, Government of India. He is being spearheading the Blue Revolution project, which is a central government scheme to help the aqua farmers in this country. I would like to also welcome Shri Balram Singh Yadav, Managing Director, Godrej Agrovet, and a former chairman of CLFMA India, a veteran of animal nutrition industry in this country. I would also like to welcome Shri Tarun Shridharji, a great supporter of our industry and former Secretary of Government Animal Husbandry Ministry in Government of India. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to all past chairmen, office bearers, members of CLFMA and animal feed farmers and industry, members of the press and all present in this hall. I am pleased to inform you that CLFMA of India is a 5-year-old decade organization serving the livestock sector. It has been a pan-India membership and recognized and plays an important role in agriculture, Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and various universities and research institutes pan-India. CLFMA is representing on various government bodies and committees like National Advisory Council, which is recently made by the Ministry of Fishery and Animal Husbandry, Dairy and FSSI, BIS, and presenting all issues related to animal welfare. I would like to introduce this year's symposium theme, Changing Dynamic of Animal Agriculture in India. The symposium will be having 3 sessions, which will be tomorrow on the 1st of October 2022. In the first session, we'll be deliberating about strategies to mitigate price increase of feed ingredients. The second session will have deliberation about go-to-market strategies of animal protein products like chicken, egg, shrimp, fish, milk, and they share insight on various strategies to enhance farmers' betterment realization of prices. The third session will be deliberation on animal agriculture policy makers, regulators, industry experts in alignment, participating on existing and upcoming regulations, there will be members from FSSI, BIS, and industry representing on this. CLFMA is committed to take the outcomes of Symposium forward by way of positive action and support to the government and sector, and I am much confident that the 63rd Symposium will be a great opportunity for confluence of innovative and path-breaking ideas that will take the sector to newer heights in future. I am grateful to all our sponsors, speakers for their patronage and continuous and wholehearted support to CLFMA of India and its initiative. I thank all office bearers, members of the managing committee, and other members of the association and delegates for their great support and regular involvement in activities of CLFMA. Thank you. Isha.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Deora, for really setting the tone, for sharing with us what all we can look forward to. And I'm sure there's a lot for each of us to learn together. So thank you so very much for that. I'm now about to invite somebody who really is a perfectionist of sort. He makes sure that he gets into every nitty-gritty. He makes sure that he is really taking the lead the right way. May I please request all of you to put your hands together for the chairman address. CLFMA chairman address all set for this very august gathering. May I please invite Mr. Neeraj Kumar Srivastava, chairman CLFMA of India, to join us. A round of applause for him, please.
Honorable Cabinet Minister of Animal Husbandries, Fisheries and Dairying, Sri Rupala sir. Our Secretary for Fisheries, Sri Jatin Swain sir. Managing Director for Godrej Agrovet, Mr. Balram Singh Yadav. My colleagues on the dais. My industry colleagues, CLFMA members, special invitees, and ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all for this CLFMA 55th Annual General Meeting and 63rd National Symposium today evening. Before I go ahead, I request each one of you, tomorrow is our Honorable Minister birthday, so I request each one of you to just wish, and in advance we get this opportunity to wish our Minister birthday for tomorrow. Okay. And at the same time, we just thank him because he need to travel today evening, a very, very far distance to Amreli, and still he took out time to be here present with us. I acknowledge with the deep appreciation, with the gracious presence of some of the dignitaries over here, especially Mr. Tarun Sridhar, team from INFA, Dr. Atre, Mr. Vijay Ting, Mr. Pasrija, Dr. Susant Rai from KPBFA, Mr. Dan Megar, President and CEO of Novus International, who came all the way from United States, Mr. Adgalo, CCO for Novus, Dr. Sandeep Karkhanis from Novel Tech, and one of my mentor of my basic initial career, Mr. R.J.S. Chugh. I extend my sincere thanks to the esteemed dignitaries, guests of honor, eminent speaker, key government officials, and participants from different parts of the country and abroad for making this program a resounding success. CLFMA has successfully completed 55th eventful year and getting stronger year on year with the support of its member and managing committee. Last year, we interacted with various stakeholders in the industry and government on policy making related to livestock sector. CLFMA also has a diverse membership from across the animal value chain, including feed manufacturers, poultry, aquaculture, dairy, animal nutrition and health, veterinary services, machinery, equipments, and all the processing units. We made it. In fact, last year, we witnessed an unmatched galaxy of honorable ministers, senior policymakers, and regulatory authorities, along with several shining stars of the industry and academia. That was a very, very successful event of CLFMA, our last AGM at Hyderabad. This year's 63rd National Symposium is quite unique as we are focusing on the most relevant topic and the current challenges of industry around the theme, changing dynamics of animal agriculture in India. India has traditionally been a mixed farming economy with agriculture and livestock, which is playing a complementary role. It has been acknowledged that livestock sectors make important contribution to food security and poverty reduction. India's livestock industry is getting transformed faster in tandem with the positive macroeconomic and demographic factor that look quite favorable in the medium to long run. For example, we are today number one milk producer in the world. This year we have produced 209 million metric ton of the milk. We have grown almost 6.2% to each year. As of now, we are the number one in freshwater aquaculture production and about 88% of the total farmed fish production in India. However, of late, brackish water also is picking up and we have reached to 12%. I think tomorrow we are going to listen more from experts from the aqua. Poultry is one of the fastest growing segment of the agriculture sector in India today, while the production of agriculture crops have been rising at the rate of 1.2 to 2%. We have been growing in egg and broiler 8 to 10% every year. We strongly believe that country's fast-growing livestock sector offers an ocean of opportunities for those who are willing to explore it. Animal agriculture in India facing several important challenges. It needs to become more sustainable and productive, while it must remain profitable for farmers. This is particularly true for livestock farming. Some of the areas of concern that the livestock sector is facing in India is shortage of feed and fodder, loss of traditional cattle breeds, inadequate infrastructure, and contribution to the global warming. Change is the only constant, and this is what we are going to talk tomorrow under our theme, Changing Dynamics of Animal Agriculture in India. We are going to focus on modern and improved ideas, finding out the solutions of the problems which the industry is facing and how to overcome these challenges by adopting the latest cloud-based technologies and many more. I'm much confident that this 63rd Symposium will be a great opportunity for the confluence of innovative and path-breaking ideas that will take our sectors to the newer height. To just summarize my speech today, I have only two requests actually which we have been talking, and entire industry is revolving on these 2 points, that how to create a win-win situation for farmers and livestock industry players for faster and sustainable growth of our industry. And I feel that allowing for GM crop to be in India is one of the solutions. We can hear more again from our speakers today. Second one is I have been specifically told and faced over the last period of almost 2 years, we have been facing a lot of problem on the custom issues on both import and exports. So from this stage, I request our Honorable Minister to just look into, sir, in this opportunity and how we can help our members to make sure that this both import and policies becomes easy for them to operate. At last, again, in last meeting also I reiterated, and I can say that we are really lucky that we have got, after a long time, our cabinet minister who understands our industry, our pain so well, and more than that, who is ready to help us at any time, 24 hours, whenever we have approached him, he is easily available for us, he listens our problems, and not only that, he gives the very, very satisfactory solutions of that, and allowing for GM soybean in India is one of the key, I think, decision and support by our Honorable Minister for all of us. I request you all to give a big round of applause for our Minister. I thank once again to each one of you for your gracious presence and making these functions a grand success. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Srivastava, for telling us what all we can look forward to. And like you very rightly said, it is the presence of our dignitaries, the presence of all our audience members, our partners, our supporters, who really have made it possible for us to meet right here at the 63rd National Symposium. And as we look forward to these days of discussing and a lot more, To now present the thematic address, I'm going to invite one leader who's always been a fantastic supporter of CLFMA of India. In fact, he has also held the chair position twice in the last few years. And a veteran of the industry, he's someone who has taken over the reins of Godrej Agrovet as managing director. And since he has been in the position, he has made sure that he moves forward on the path of rapid growth. Under his able leadership, the organization has worked wonders. May I please request all of you to put your hands together for no less than a veteran of sorts of the industry. May I present to you Mr. Balram Singh Yadav, Managing Director, Godrej Agrovet Limited. Sir.
Honorable Cabinet Minister for Fisheries, Animal Husbandry, Poultry, Government of India, Mr. Jane Swain, Secretary, Ministry of Fisheries, Government of India, Office Bearers of CLFMA, Mr. Tarun Sridhar, who has infectious passion for this industry, and we share a lot of notes together, always optimistic. Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to, I will speak in both languages because एक मेरे काम की भाषा है, एक मेरे सपनों की भाषा है. So, मिनिस्टर साहब, हमारी इंडस्ट्री में बहुत कमियां हैं, लेकिन हम अनग्रेटफुल नहीं हैं. हमने जितना चेंज पिछले 2-3 साल में इस इंडस्ट्री में देखा है और जिस तरह का पॉजिटिव अप्रोच सरकार का देखा है, मैं वैसे भी बहुत ऑप्टिमिस्टिक आदमी हूँ वैसे, लेकिन इतना मैं ऑप्टिमिस्टिक इस इंडस्ट्री के बारे में कभी नहीं था जितना मैं अब हूँ. तो मैं ये कुछ स्कीम्स रिकाउंट करूँगा क्योंकि मैं बहुत ट्रैवल करता हूँ हिंटरलैंड में, जो बहुत एक डिफरेंस कर रही हैं. तो मैं आप सबसे जितना भी हम धन्यवाद कर सके वो कम है, तो आप सबसे अनुरोध करूँगा कि एक बार लेट अस गिव हिम ए स्टैंडिंग ओवेशन. आप सब खड़े होके सरकार का सत्कार करें जो काम किया है. Sir, this was our long-standing demand to create a forum like the National Advisory Committee, and I am very sure that this will, along with the government and other stakeholders, will give us an opportunity to discuss the problems of the industry, to see opportunities and how can we claim those opportunities and overcome those obstacles. So I think this decision will be one of the I would say game-changing decisions in this industry. That's what I feel. I also took I would say, how should I put it? I looked at what the government schemes have done in past few years because they have been announced. And I must tell you that several schemes instituted by this government are playing wonders. And some of the schemes I have highlighted: the Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund. It's a 15,000 crore fund. We have seen so much of infrastructure coming up throughout the country in the industry, and we believe more than 1 lakh of crores. It's the interest subvention scheme, so more than 1 lakh of crores of investments are likely to be made in this industry, and they will generate more than 35 lakh jobs. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, sir, I must tell you that this scheme is doing wonders. People will be really surprised, those who are not from this sector, that the states in North India, particularly UP, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and now Haryana and Punjab are galloping in inland fish production. And we are also seeing signs of some shrimp production in North Indian states. So this scheme is 20,050 crores. The target is to get about 1 lakh crores in export in or double exports by 25, and I am very sure we are going to be there. Almost 60 lakh additional employment will be generated. Inclusion of animal agriculture in Kisan credit cards has definitely eased life of our farmers. Otherwise, also, I think some of the decisions which have benefited the industry, Neeraj talked about this import of soya meal, which almost saved this industry, and you can see my chart that how prices which were exorbitant came down and changed the game for this industry as far as survival is concerned. I think bird flu has been hitting us. I must tell you that the decision to make the vaccine within the country with our strains, with our Atmanirbhar technology. I'm sure that we will do wonders here considering what we did in COVID. If we can do that in COVID, we can do that in any sector in this industry. Then there are other schemes like Rashtriya Gokul Mission and so many schemes which have promoted milk processing. You can see the results that milk processing has doubled, almost doubled now, and is going to be close to about 108 million tons a year by 2025. And these are all the projects which have been sanctioned and which have been agreed upon with different banks and government aid. A National Livestock Mission Breed Improvement Program is also progressing. So I'm saying that if you see that the kind of, I would say, push which this industry is getting from the government is unprecedented, and I think we should make the best use of it for create prosperity for us and prosperity for the country. Animal husbandry is very critical, and I will also recount what we have done in last 75 years in this industry and what we can do in next 10 years with each other's support. Now, crops have outlived their growth trajectory. They are growing at 1.4%. Animal husbandry is the new kid on the block. They are growing at 7.5%, and they are this sector is driving all the GDP growth in India. I must also tell you that we don't consume too much of land. We don't need fertile land. We can make use of wasteland and any type of land where poultry can be easily done. I must also say that one of the best things in animal husbandry is cash cycle for the farmer. One of the problems in traditional agriculture is that the farmer get paid twice. In our case, he gets paid 12, 15 or 18 times a year. And I think that is one thing which keeps farmer afloat from sustainability point of view. So I think this is a right platform to acknowledge that now we are on the same plane and we are going to push this industry very hard and push prosperity for our farmers also in the same way. So I would talk about, sir, what we have done in past. So I think quickly, because I'm going to talk about future, I would like to talk about past also. The past was Animal Husbandry 1.0, which was 1950 to 2000. Most of it was driven by a cooperative era of milk, and we can know the White Revolution, which Dr. Kurian brought in this country and made us self-sufficient in milk. This was the result of Operation Flood, that from 70 to 81, our average milk procurement was 0.9 million metric tons a year, and in 2002 we became 6.4 million tons. Cooperative movement gained momentum from 13.3 to 74.3 thousand cooperatives. Average milk marketing from 0.9 million metric ton to 4.3 million metric ton. And one of the best things which happened was milk production. I think you can see that by 2000 we were at about 81 million tons, and in 1950 we were 17 million tons we were importing milk. The per capita availability of milk also shot up, and it reached almost 217 grams per day in the first phase of growth for animal husbandry. Apart from that, there was a lot of institutions for development of industry set up by the government. MPDA has done a marvelous job in making us an aqua exporter of great relevance in this world. Similarly, National Coordination Committee started by Venkis has done wonders for our egg production business, and I think it has really revolutionized and brought us to the third position in the industry. Then All India Coordinated Research Projects, increase in veterinary. This is what happened in the first 50 years. Population almost doubled, food grains tripled, but look at what milk happened. Almost quadrupled, fish 7 times, eggs 20 times, and poultry 5 times. So this is the kind of growth we assured. Animal protein as a percentage of GDP was 20% in 1950, and it became 23% in 2000. Protein per capita availability in an increasing population rise from 44 to 55 grams. Then we assured Animal Husbandry 2.0 when we brought participation of private sector. It was the era of value addition and efficiencies in all sectors of animal husbandry. We can see private sector in dairy created capacity and production innovation. And production in million tons from 58 million tons has gone to about 210 million tons. 45% procurement today of surplus milk in this country is through private players, and almost the capacity for processing has tripled. And you can see the journey which cooperatives in the private sector have taken in value addition, because we are eating more and more milk than drinking milk now, as milk products are getting lot of acceptance by the consumer. Rise in aquaculture is something which proved that our farmers can handle sensitive species also. You can see the glory of MPDA and aquaculture exports, that in FY20 we came to something like almost $6.6 billion, and we are hoping that FY25, if we get to our target, we will be close to about $12.5 billion. And the private sector took this opportunity, and we can see several very valuable companies getting added in this sector. BMR, Vishakha, they're in hatchery, Avanti, Godrej Agrovet, CP Feed, and Nikanti, and other companies in processing. We are one of the biggest exporters of shrimp now, and I think it is just a matter of time that we'll become the biggest exporter of aqua in this country. Poultry has been a very, very great story in past 20 years. And our production and productivity have galloped. Our per capita consumption has also been increased. I think we have never seen such a big quantum jump in efficiency in 20 years in any other sector related or unrelated to agriculture. Now, vaccines penetration has gone up, medicine availability and penetration has gone up, breed improvements are there, and huge strides have been made in nutritional improvement, and I think that has resulted in huge efficiency in this industry. Integration has really added to a much slower growth in prices than in a lot of other food products. So I'm saying that poultry has been one of the biggest drivers in animal husbandry 2.0, that is from 2000 to 2020. Again, I think animal husbandry sector stole the show. Population grew by 30%, food grains became 1.5, vegetables doubled, fruits almost 130%, milk 1.5 times. But look at fish, almost 1.5 times, eggs double, and poultry again galloped from 0.4 per capita to about 3.6 per capita. And we can see that we became one of the big exporters of buffalo meat, and export of animal and aqua close to about $9 billion by 2020. So what a fantastic journey it has been, but it has launched us into a very bright future. And I'm extremely optimistic the way we are working along with the government. I'm very sure this is not too far, and mostly my predictions will be surpassed a year or two ahead of what I have predicted. So India and India for world, opportunity for both. I'm just capturing the vision of this government, that they want to be Atmanirbhar, but they want to also play in the globe. And I must say that one of the most, I would say, encouraging thing is that at one time we were importing armament, and today we are exporting armament. Every time we are hearing. So I'm talking about technology is something which is a passe in this country. We can make global vaccines, we can handle global species, we can produce world-class products. And I was just reading that we will be making almost 3/4 of cell phones in this country, which is again a very top-class technology. So I think we have arrived. So we believe that the demand for our products is going to go through the roof. Population will go to about 1.5 billion, 150 crores by 2030. Incomes will double at current prices. Milk mostly close to about 300 million tons. Eggs will double again. I think eggs and chicken are unstoppable. So we believe that our industry size will be significant. And I've always been saying that our share in agri GDP from about 37% will get to about half in next 5 to 6 years. And I'm extremely confident, because one of our crystal gazing in 2010 said that we will be 1/3 of agri GDP. We are already ahead of it. And I'm very sure we will get to a half of agri GDP. So this is the world which is opening for us. India's share in world exports in milk is less than 1%, poultry less than 1%. In beef, we are at about 11%. In shrimp, we are at about 18%. And we strongly believe, and this is not out of thin air, but we have done the math, the kind of initiatives people are taking, the whatever organic growth rate we are getting in last 20 years, and the kind of initiative government and private sector is likely to take, we will get to about $25 billion animal husbandry exports by FY30. Government support will be required. There are a lot of challenges. There will be a lot of challenges in sustenance. There will be a lot of challenges in maintaining the leadership we have gained in certain sectors and removing impediments which are there in our growth towards exports and growth towards a very good domestic market. So I think RM shortages he has already talked about. We are going to have a problem in fodder. We are definitely going to have a problem in soybean meal, and maize will be touch and go because we will definitely be competing with industry as well as human consumption. Please remember that all maize we produce will never be available to us, and if we are competing with starch industry and human consumption, the animal availability of maize for animals will be at higher and higher prices. So it will drive food inflation. So we have to be extremely vigilant that we just keep pace with the kind of productivity and production we need to sustain this growth in animal agriculture. Import in short term, I think, import of GM soya has done two things. One, it eased the tension of the industry, but also it put one foot in the door for introduction of GM crops, which is likely to be the game changer in future. I must also say that it was the same team at state, Modi ji as Prime Minister and Rupala ji as Minister for Agriculture, when BT cotton came into this country, and that story is told by everybody, and mostly by those people who opposed it that time. So that is the beauty of this team. We have the same team now in center, and if there is an opportunity of any of GM crop introduction, it will only happen with this team. My sense is if we start trials, etc., it takes 3, 4, 5 years to do all the risk analysis, but the time is now to open doors for productivity improvement through GM. India's current yield is about 0.9 to 0.95 metric ton per hectare, global average 2.7, and US current yield is 3.5 metric ton per hectare. So if we introduce GM crops in this country, we are sorted for next 25 years of explosive growth. Fodder supply, I think this is going to be a problem. You must have seen that cattle farmers all over the country have a very big issue. And out of that has come businesses like silage. Suddenly we see a lot of companies coming up in particularly northern part of India. And I was really surprised that these people have indigenous technologies and they sell 25, 30, 40,000 tons of silage. And it is growing at 25, 30% every year. So my sense is that I think some fodder strategy is needed. We have in this sector, one best thing is that we can do with some kind of a poor quality lands also, saline lands, other alkaline lands, brackish water lands. We can find use for everything. We have 50 million hectares of that kind of a land, and back of the envelope calculation according to our internal sources is that almost 5 million hectares in next 5 to 10 years with sustained investment and program can be made use for animal agriculture, either for production of inputs or production of outputs. I think vaccine policy, enough has been said. I have repeated that. Diseases will come, diseases will go. We have to be proactive. Whatever we can produce in-house, we should try that first. Whatever is we cannot do at scale, we should be willing to import it. And because we have already seen that the kind of money we lose because of diseases in this country in a sector which is 1.5 lakh crores, 20,000 crores, there's a lot of money to lose. I think success story of shrimp exports is a guiding beacon for us in animal husbandry sector. If we attain cost leadership, if we make the products which have limited use of chemical and drugs, and if we control diseases, I am very sure the kind of opportunity which exist in dairy and poultry also will be not very difficult to capture in the next few years. Something more, I think new aqua species have already been introduced several times, and Venami is one answer, because at one time we were a black tiger country and we thought that things will not happen. But I think a proactive government and support from MPDA and Government of India, I think we regained our position in shrimp exports through Venami. I think this is Holy Trinity. I think this is a very MBA chart, so I'll just skip it. I think, sir, we have been investing in pure agriculture, and we have seen that at one time the returns were very high. But as a businessman, I can definitely say that investment in animal husbandry will outstrip any investments in any sector in this country, because the kind of return of investments we can generate is unprecedented. And I strongly believe next decade is the decade of animal husbandry in this country. Industry guys, I cannot leave without reprimanding, because that is why you come to listen to me. I show you the mirror and I tell you that where you are. So I will not fail in that duty, and I will also talk about what you need to do. I think your turf is changing. From ground, it is becoming astroturf. Our consumer is changing, which is heart of our industry. Quality expectations are changing, product expectations are changing, delivery expectations are changing, and we are becoming a more and more conscious society about sustainability. So I think we need to wake up every time I see that, and I will continue to say that till you call me in such fora. But I think we have to wake up. We don't want to become just a supplier to these big companies which are galloping with immense valuation, deep pockets, and great business models. Animal protein space already is disrupted. You can see the number of delivery apps which are there, and they're growing at 40, 50, 60% per quarter. And I think this is something which we can learn from, we can partner with, and probably replicate in certain areas. Alternative protein market, at one time I personally thought that this will never become big, because non-meat meat, or say non-animal meat, will never match the prices of animal meat. And a country where pricing is so important and paying capacity is low. But I think that is also getting beaten. So we have another competitor in the market, which is the vegetarian meat. The other big thing is definitely the environmental racism. And we have seen that this PETA and other organizations keep on doing certain things which spoil the image of the industry, and that is a separate topic. I've discussed with you all several times that we should create a fund for managing image. It will take us about 5 to 10 years to manage the image, but we can get there provided there is a sustained effort. One example I give to everybody that what these NGOs can do. From a exporter of cotton, they made us importer of cotton by just cutting off sterilite copper. So I think this is the kind of activism of these NGOs can result, which may not be in the nation's interest totally. So I think we have to be very careful, and a good PR and a little bit of vigilance is the medicine to it. Guys, we will need a lot of capital. Just because our performance is not very sustainable, banks don't give us money. We are never able to access capital markets. Look at our sector and look at the companies which are listed, and look at their performance, including my companies in last 5 years. So I think there is a lot to be done in this sector. Unless and until we bring a sustainable profit, sustainable top line and bottom line growth, we will never get the respect of capital markets, which can really fund our expansion plans and dreams in future. Thank you very much, friends, for listening to me. I'm so grateful to CLFMA that they have invited me to speak, and I could say whatever I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. A round of applause once again for Mr. Balram Singh Yadav. Thank you, sir, for being so very candid out here, for really speaking your heart out and your mind out, and at the same time for pointing out such important factors out here, how we as businessmen need to be a lot more conscious today. Keep in mind that the consumer is changing. They're a lot more enlightened today. They know a lot. So we have to make sure that we are looking at the whole ecosystem, and most importantly, India for world opportunity for both. Some fantastic key takeaways there. A round of applause for him yet again, please. And at this point, we'd like to move on to our keynote address by a leader who really does believe that innovation can create a change in our industry. I'm talking about none other than Shri Jatindranath Swen, who is the Secretary of Department of Fishery, Ministry of Fishery, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, a 1988 batch IS officer of Tamil Nadu cadre, somebody who truly believes that one can transform, develop innovative and efficient technology options for the farming community. He has one and more times encouraged researchers to focus on the reduction of the farm input cost, creation of new market for diversified fish and fishery products, and development of responsive extension systems to disseminate the technologies to end users. And I'm sure that today his address will be a very enlightening one for all of us. May I please request all of you to put your hands together as I extend a very warm welcome to him. Sir?
Honorable Union Minister, Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry Dairying, Sri Purushottam Rupalaji, Chairman of CLFMA, Mr. Srivastav, Mr. Yadav, MD Godrej Agrobet, Mr. Devra, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Tarun Sridhar, and all the participants here, representatives of industry, a very good afternoon to all of you. I think the presenters have been extremely kind to me. So, by ascribing some qualities to me which I don't claim that I have. So I will try to do what best I can do to fill up that expectations. First of all, I will thank CLFMA for inviting me as a keynote speaker. I'm Secretary of Fisheries. I didn't have much idea about compound live till I held the charge of Secretary Animal Husbandry. So this is part of the things. Most of the fisheries, there are capture fisheries, there are fisheries which are done in a very, very traditional way. Of course, the shrimp and other things require a lot of feed, a specialized feed. So after coming to the animal husbandry sector, I saw the importance of animal feed and its importance to the national economy as such. Today's the symposium is about changing dynamics of animal agriculture. So what do we see by this? The first we will see is changing consumer preferences. So we will go for more and more animal proteins, number one. More and more of convenience foods, or which can be cooked very quickly. These are, I think, this something. Despite we see that process in reverse, there will be always fringe players, but I see this probably the main trend that will continue if we see how the other countries or developed countries have progressed. So that means there will be bigger demand, greater demand for animal protein, whether the meat or fish or a derivative compound of them. And second, to be presented in a form that will take less time to cook. Fortunately, our country has been a country where there are a lot of people who do not eat meat. So for our sector, probably that looks very antagonistic. So I always tell wherever I go that many places fish is a wonder to the people, the average consumer. So I always say that men in the civilization started eating fish and meat before he learned to eat cereals, because cereals require fire to break it down into something that can be digested by human beings. So we have very short alimentary canal compared to the herbivorous animals. So we naturally will not be able to digest the cellulose. That's how it is. So anyway, so changes in consumer preference is something that is going on, and it is a process. I don't think none of us can really reverse much. So the net result is that the demand for animal protein will increase, whether it is fish, meat, and also being a secretary of fisheries, I will always wish that people eat more fish than meat. So anyway, that's up to the consumer. So once there is increased demand for this product, then production will have to be increased. And production has to come from culture, because the extraction of this kind of food from the natural systems, whether it was a grazing system in animal husbandry, the pastoralism, or the capture fisheries in the oceans and the rivers, that's limited because of whatever resource we have, it is limited. And we have a large country with very fairly dense population, and our population will still increase for some time before it stabilizes. So we are actually a land scarce country. So most of this increased demand has to come from the culture. And once we do the culture, there will be a requirement for feed. And that is where you all are there to address this challenge. We have a number of schemes that Dr. Yadav was already very succinctly he told the trends and all this. I am very thankful to him for giving a lot of perspectives on this. We have a lot of schemes in the government, and from 2014 onwards, very specifically recognized that animal husbandry fisheries, these are the animal protein sector will grow faster, and this is probably will be the key driver of the Indian agriculture to fulfill the slogan of doubling the farmer's income. And so the schemes, as he has already said, the National Livestock Mission, Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund, Fisheries Infrastructure Development Fund, the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, and of course there is a big program on disease control in animal husbandry. So a number of schemes, and I am sure these schemes will increase investment in these sectors to a large extent. The targets are also humongous. Like Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana envisages increase in fish production from 15 million tons to 22 million. So that's the near-term target. And the longer-term target, government is working out on 2047 target. There are 100 years of independence. We propose that we will reach the consumption level of fish to about what is there in Japan, with almost about 25 kilos per annum per capita, which at current time is about 5 to 6 kilos per capita. So 4 times increase, that means that much will come from culture, because I think the natural resources, our oceans and rivers, are the more or less stagnant. We can do more valuation to those kind of captures, but we will not be able to physically expand much beyond what we are actually doing right now. So once that comes, then the requirement of feed industry will be tremendous. Currently, we all know, like, we prepare these feeds partly from crops, crop-based cereals, and partly from animal products, which normally we call it as a waste. Actually not waste, which a waste is a waste till we know how to use it. So that's how I look at a waste. Then whatever was not fit for human consumption, that is going into animal. That's my very rudimentary understanding of it. Now once we get into the culture part, we feed our big population, and we also start thinking about exports. We must be very efficient in production. And that is where our feed cost has to be kept at a level which will make our farmers to compete. Otherwise, they will simply move away from this sector. And that is where the challenge before the industry. Dr. Yadav has already told about things. There are issues like using GM techniques and all these things, so that the crops, the productivity increases, and the risks in terms of diseases goes down. These are some of the things that has to be taken care of. The government is already working on those issues. But from the industry perspective, we have to always see like what all we can do at our level to see that the feed cost remains within the limits. And that is, therein lies the innovation. We are a country with very, very different agroclimatic region. Just like as human beings, we eat different types of foods at different places and different seasons. Whether the same thing is required for the animals or we keep giving one standard solution, whether it is the hills of Arunachal or whether it is the coast of Kerala, at least from fishery sector, I say, for aquaculture, or we make some variations. That is something we have to look at. This is a challenge because right now, just like Green Revolution, we had followed one particular system like, okay, water, fertilizers, some amount of pesticide, disease control, and a market and a MSP. That is how we grew our staple crops, rice and wheat, and which we were importing in 1965. And I was just born around that time, and that time we were begging USA under PL 480 for wheat, and USA was threatening us during Indo-Pakistan War 1965 that if you start a war, then if you don't close it, then we will block this PL 480. You know, that time our late Prime Minister gave a slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kishan, and that's where we are, and we are now one of the biggest exporters of rice. And so wheel has turned. So that was a very, very standard set prescription, easy to understand by the farmers. But now, with the kind of dynamics that is setting in, we have to be much more attenuated, much more nuanced in our approach to creation of feed for different segments. There will be some farmers who may like to have very high production and will also take very high risks. I see in shrimp sector, very, very high levels of stockings. They take a huge amount of risk. There will be some farmers who like average rate of return, who do not want to maximize per unit, that means per hectare, their productivity, but we like to keep the risk level at certain level and not allow it to go beyond a particular point. So I would say that because feed is almost 50 to 60% of the cost of aquaculture, and in terms of dairy, I think it's almost about 70%, a little below, higher than that. The challenge lies in whether we maximize per unit of feed, our output. I think probably that's the challenge. That is, how does the industry respond to it is a challenge I throw it to you. Quite a substantial portion of our feed is coming from agriculture products. We keep on saying that, okay, milk we produce, the value of the milk we produce is more than rice and wheat combined. But some of the rice keeps coming into the milk in terms of feed. So, since quite a big percentage of the feed that will come from agriculture, and we are already a water scarce country. We are not as abundantly endowed as the United States. How do we reduce water intensity in the feed input? Okay, it is very nice to say that we just source soybean or maize wherever it is available, try to get at the best competitive price and make our feed in the most competitive way. How do we reduce the water intensity? Because once there is a water stress, then everybody will be affected. So whether it is a job of agriculture companies or it is a job of feed companies for animal husbandry and fisheries, it's a common problem. So this is something we have to look at, especially the crops that gets into the feed, whether you can do something to reduce the water intensity of the stress. That is something we must do at the earliest. The way our agriculture has developed in many cases, in some of it's basically by subsidized water and subsidized power. I don't say that subsidy is really bad, because without this, in many places today, probably agriculture is not possible. Especially, I worked extensively in Tamil Nadu state. Without probably free power, 50% of the Tamil Nadu agriculture will just stop. So, how do we create better systems to ensure that water use is optimized? A small example I want to give. There is a district called Ramnathpuram in Tamil Nadu. The Israelis came, experts came, and somewhere in 1998 to study and provide optimum solution. That's a very water stressed area. 600 mm is the annual rainfall, and mostly it's a black cotton soil area, so water doesn't penetrate below. So whatever rainfall is there, the soil holds it. And mostly paddy cultivation is only 3 months, one single crop area. What the Israelis told is that radically different from what we were thinking. They said all your low-lying areas in that area don't cultivate during the rainy season. Allow the waters to be stored. Use that water to irrigate the upland area. And once the water is used, use the moisture to do this low-lying area. It's difficult because you have to involve the entire community and do agricultural planning, spatial planning. But this is something would have given double the output than what is currently produced in that particular area. So we have to look at very, very innovative solutions to reduce water intensity. The second important point, how do we increase the use of renewable energy in the production of inputs that get into feed? This is something we have to look at a very serious way, because ultimately energy will become more and more expensive, and especially the conventional energy, whether it is diesel or coal-fired electricity or the grid electricity, it will keep on going up. So how do you keep the cost down? The cost has to be kept down by using more and more renewable energy like solar or anything that comes out of solar. How do you do that? A lot of innovative solutions are required for this. Over the years, I was MD of Solar Energy Corporation. We brought down the tariffs by competitive bidding from about 5 rupees 50 paisa per unit to 2 rupees. Of course, there is a lot of turmoil in the market, the COVID and all things, solar panels have gone up, but it will keep on going down because the ecosystem that has been created. So when the energy cost becomes 2 rupees, or they predicted by 2030 it will become 1.5. How do you use more and more solar into this system so that we become more competitive vis-a-vis others? Just to tell how the solar became cheaper, our companies, our EPC companies were so efficient. In fact, the Chinese themselves told that your EPC companies, they come to us, our EPC companies go out of business. What they did is, normally, if you see that you put one kilowatt or 1 megawatt of solar, it will produce about 1 megawatt unit hour. That's how it is calculated. What our people did is, for 1 megawatt capacity, they put about 1.5 megawatt of panels, and they produced 1.5 times the power using the same line. That is how they brought down the cost to about 2 rupees. Of course, another aspect of the falling interest rate, because it's a very, very capital intensive upfront investment kind of a job. So it is very sensitive to the interest rate. So when interest rate came down, naturally the prices of the electricity that will be generated and which are supposed to be fixed for 25 years came down. But the innovation of our EPC companies in solar is something that can be followed, how they have created that kind of a thinking, that kind of ecosystem to see that we remain extremely competitive in the thing. Other thing is the government's job of creating a very, very transparent kind of a system, one of the best systems in the world. So many companies, major energy companies like NG and NL, SoftBank, they all acknowledged that the Indian renewable energy system is probably one of the best in terms of transparency and investor friendliness. Anyway, how do you do that? That is, how do you increase the use of renewable energy so that one, we earn more carbon credits and we keep our costs down? That is something we should do. Of course, there are many other issues which Dr. Yadav had pointed out. I think in the ensuing discussion, the technical discussions, all those issues will be addressed. I just want to add one more thing since I am Secretary Fisheries. Fish meal is one of the essential ingredients in most of our aquatic feeds. And because the demand has shot up, our fishermen are catching the juvenile fish. This is a major issue. That means we are killing the hen that lays the golden egg. So they are catching the juveniles, feed plants are running, fish meal is getting into a shrimp. But maybe tomorrow there will be no fish in the ocean. So where do you catch the juveniles? Can the feed companies do something to find alternative to fish meal? This is a major challenge, and as we have, I have already told, our exports are supposed to double in the near term. Our production is supposed to grow by 70% in near term, and in the long term maybe about 4 to 5 times. And fish meal is something that is extracted from nature. Some fish, some will come from processing of the fish, of the waste part. The remaining has to come from the ocean, and we are not as abundantly blessed like Chile or Peru, where naturally because of the cold current, mixing of the cold current and the hot warm current, they get a lot of anchovies there, and it's practically free. And I think Manoj Sharma is coming tomorrow. He will talk about aquaculture. He will tell the same thing, that Ecuador is beating us hollow now because they are become very, very efficient, primarily because of the feed cost. So this is something I just leave as a parting note to the challenge to the industry. How do we find an alternative to fish meal, or find some kind of a protein, animal protein, which can to some extent replace the fish meal and moderate the demand on juvenile fish. With this, I understand that after a long time, after 4 years, this is being organized. So a lot of people are there, a lot of enthusiasm is there. I wish you all the best in this symposium, and I thank the organizers for organizing this in such a nice way, and I hope that animal protein will grow much more. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, sir. Once again, a round of applause for the passion that sir spoke with. We are so very thankful to you, and we look forward to your support in growing and doing even better, sir. So thank you so very much. And now is the time that is always a much awaited moment, which is the CLFMA of India Awards 2022. And as we come back to honor those leaders who have relentlessly worked towards the development of the livestock sector, who have contributed towards the betterment of the industry. Of course, the honors will be done by our chief guest, Honorable Minister, sir, and our dignitaries on the dais. But as we look forward to presenting CLFMA Lifetime Achievement Award, may I please request the presence of Mr. Divya Kumar Gulati, Deputy Chairman, CLFMA of India, right next to me, amongst applauses from all of you, please. Welcome. So may I request all of you to please put your hands together. A round of applause for a leader who has contributed immensely towards the betterment of the industry. We present the CLFMA Lifetime Achievement Award to Shri A.R. Anand Menon. A round of applause, and may I please request Mr. Divya Kumar Gulati to read out the
pleasing personality. It's always great to talk with you, and always a smiling face. Born in Vijayawada, Anand Menon had his schooling in his famous Hyderabad, in the famous Hyderabad Public School, Begumpet, and took his engineering from MIT Manipal. A graduate mechanical engineer and a fellow of the Institute of Engineers, he has 45 years experience in vegetable oil industry, animal feed manufacturing, milk processing, and ice cream manufacturing. His career started in Delhi at Chemical Construction International, and he worked in Faridabad, Kharad, and Manila, Philippines, for about 7 years before returning to India to join Kerala Solvent Extractions in Iranjal Kuda, Kerala. This 2 crore turnover company grew over the years to a rupees 1,500 crore turnover company, and later becoming KSE Limited, a listed public limited company. and was at the helm of affairs as CGM. He was at the helm of affairs as CGM till he retired at the end of 2018. From a single unit, non-profit making company, 8 factories, cattle feed, solvent extraction, vegetable oil, refining, milk processing, they were added during these years in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, making it a dividend-paying profitable company. The largest cattle feed manufacturing and largest solvent extracting company processing coconut cake of India. During these years, there were no prolonged strikes and industrial relations were best dispute despite involvement of various trade unions. The company provides employment to over 1,200 people directly and an equal number indirectly. The rupees 10 company share today stands at rupees 2,200 per share as advised by the promoter. It has been a privilege to be a shareholder and enjoy the attractive dividends paid each year by the company, highest being 1,000% in 2018.
Many congratulations. Once again, a round of applause for Shri Anand Menon accepting the CLFMA Lifetime Achievement Award. And may I once again thank Mr. Divya Kumar Gulati for joining us to read out the citation. And of course, a big round of applause for our chief guest. Sir, may I please request you to share a few words on the acceptance?
Honorable Minister Sri Rupala ji, Chairman CLFMA Sri Neeraj, past presidents, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and my dear friends. I am honored to receive this Lifetime Achievement Award from CLFMA today. Having been associated with CLFMA for over 3 decades, I have found fond memories of my interaction with several past presidents, members, from each of whom I have got something to enhance my soft skills, knowledge and approach to situations that has helped me in making the person I am today. Several names come out in my mind. A few of them are N.B. Godrej, Praveen Lunkad, Mr. Nandakumar, Balram Singh Yadav, Dr. Anaukar, Dr. Vaidya, Dinesh Bhosle, Bharat Tandon, C.V. Rao, Vasant Kumar, Mr. Saundar Rajan, Ramkutti, Divya, Gulati, Gopal, Amit Saraugi, Naveen, also Bhave, Arvind Shah, and Sandeep Kharkanis. The list goes on and on. Friends, it's a privilege. It had been a privilege for me to work for KSE Limited in its formative years when the company's turnover was below 10 crores, and I could be the part of the growth story of the company, which was 1,400 crores, to become the largest cattle feed manufacturing company in India when I retired in 2018. Starting with one factory in 1977, KSE today has 10 production units across Tamil Nadu and Kerala and has solvent extraction, milk processing, ice cream manufacturing, along with cattle feed manufacture, which is the largest contributor to its turnover. And as mentioned, our 10 rupee BSE stock exchange share is 2,000, quoted to 2,000. I would like to place on record my gratitude to Sri S.K. Menon, my first boss, who invited me to join this company from Philippines, where I was working, and to the promoters, Sri K.L. Francis, Sri M.C. Paul and P.V. Devasi, for their full support and trust in my abilities. Also, for giving me full freedom in managing the units in a most transparent manner and letting me build a great team. We had almost nil man days lost due to strike, despite multiplicity of trade unions operating in each of our factories. And our success was due to the motivated team to whom I am always grateful. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. It was the time of growth and active participation in associations and extensive market research. I was encouraged to travel places and look for new raw materials and suppliers and explore new markets and adapt better technologies. KSE wanted to be the best. I have always believed that the company is as good as its people, and we got together a team of motivated managers, engineers and technicians and workers who gave their best to make KSE Limited the #1 feed company in India, and I thank each one of them. Today we have one such motivated member of my team here along with my other members of the company. I wish to thank all of them wholeheartedly. I also wish to thank my wife, who is here with me today, for her understanding and encouragement and confidence in letting me do my job in the best possible manner. Friends, it was a pleasure to be a part of CLFMA, SCA, Cochin Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Trichur Management Association, and interact with the best from the industry. Meeting Sri Balram Jhakar, our Union Agriculture Minister in New Delhi as CLFMA Chairman, along with Sri N.B. Godrej in the team, in our attempt to remove sales tax from animal feed manufacture in the private sector was a great experience. Those days, cooperative and government feed mills were exempt from sales tax. It was a very long meeting, and ultimately sales tax on cattle feed was removed by the respective state governments. Today we have a very proactive government, and Ropalaji and Modi ji are really driving this industry to greater heights. I did keep in touch with Sri Godrej from time to time, and it was a fine gesture of Mr. Godrej, who was the chief guest for two of my very, very important meetings in Kerala when I became the chairman of the Cochin Chamber of Commerce and Industry and Trichur Management Association. His skill for delivering presidential address on any topic in poetry form is legendary. He possibly would have been here had he been in India. Over the years, CLFMA has evolved and helped the industry solving vexed issues, bringing better environment for animal agriculture. I congratulate Neeraj and the team for the excellent arrangements for the AGM and the National Symposium, and all the past presidents for their leadership during their office. I took a little more time because I won't get an opportunity again. So I thank the organizers for letting me speak, and Rupalaji for taking this industry to greater height. Congratulations to all of you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so very much, Sri Menon. And I think the fact that you spoke from your heart really showcases the person that you are. Humble to the core, here to share credit with you all. So a round of applause for the man who's done so much for the industry. I thank you, sir. And as we move on to our next category of award, which is the CLFMA Award, a much, much awaited category. To read out the citation, may I please extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Nisar Muhammad, Member Management Committee, CLFMA India. A round of applause as he steps forward. And as we look forward to our Honorable Minister, sir, along with our dignitaries, to do the presentation to our winner. May I request all of you to please put your hands together for Dr. Rudranath Chatterjee. A round of applause as we get to know more about him.
Dr. Rudranath Chatterjee. He was born at Burdwan, West Bengal on 1st January 1965. He's been educated at CMS High School, Burdwan in 1980-82. From the College of Veterinary Science, BKCV, Mohanpur, Nadia, West Bengal. BVSc in Animal Husbandry, 1987. IVRI, MVSc, 1990. CSAU and PhD in 1998. Currently, he is in the position of Director, ICAR, Director of Poultry Research, Rajendra Nagar, Hyderabad, from 2011 to date. His services are, he's an Associate Professor, Mathura Veterinary College, 1992 to 99, Senior Scientist, Central Agriculture Research Institute, Port Blair, 1999 to 2005, Senior Scientist and Principal Scientist, Project Director on Poultry, Hyderabad, 2005 to 2010.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Mohammed. A round of applause as I once again congratulate Dr. Chatterjee and thank our honorable guests for doing the. कि आप सब जानते हैं कि उन्हें आगे जाना है, तो बस कुछ ही मिनट है उनके पास, तो एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं श्री परषोत्तम रूपाला जी, ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर.
राम राम. क्लैफमा के इस अधिवेशन में और सिम्पोसियम जो आपका 2 दिन का होने वाला है, इस बहुत ही इंडस्ट्रीज के महत्वपूर्ण कार्यक्रम में मंच पर विराजमान अध्यक्ष श्रीमान नीरज कुमार जी, हमारे सचिव महोदय स्वयं जी, आदरणीय बलराम जी और चेयरमैन जो क्लाफमा के डिप्यूटी है और गुलाटी जी और आप सभी भाइयों एवं बहनों, मैं आप सबको इस अवसर पर बधाई देता हूं और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। बलराम जी के प्रवचन के बाद वैसे ही कुछ बोलने का ज़रूरत नहीं था। बहुत ही अच्छा डेटा और चैलेंजेस भी वो शुगर कोटेड बहुत अच्छी तरह से बताते हैं, तो इसका मैं आभारी भी हूँ और उसको धन्यवाद देता हूँ। और उसी के बाद हमारे स्वयं जी ने भी बहुत ही दूध उत्पादन, इतना मछली उत्पादन, इतना अंडा उत्पादन, उस सब में जाना नहीं चाहता हूँ। अभी आगे के लिए जो अपेक्षाएं हैं सरकार से, तो एक तो वो हमारी एडवाइजरी कमेटी के हो जाने से आपका हमारे साथ पॉलिसी मेकिंग में सदैव सीधा ही पार्टनरशिप जैसा हो जाएगा, तो इसको हम जल्दी ही अमली जामा पहनाने में लगे हुए हैं। तो ये हो जाने वाला है, तो उससे हमें और भी अपने अच्छे व्यूज़ मिल जाएंगे। कुछ चीज़ें जो हमारे सामने आ रही हैं कि ये टेक्नोलॉजी वाला, जीएम वाला जो इश्यू आ रहा है, वो इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे चर्चा करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, इसलिए मैं इसको छेड़ता नहीं हूँ। और जो क्रॉप में और उसी में जो थोड़ा बहुत हमको फीड में दिक्कत आ रही है, ऐसा बन रहा है फॉडर और फीड में, तो एक और हम जला भी रहे हैं, हम पराली जला रहे हैं और इधर शॉर्टेज भी हम भुगत रहे हैं। ये दोनों चीज़ साथ साथ चल रही है। हम लोगों को इनका सॉल्यूशन ढूंढना चाहिए, उसी के बारे में इंडस्ट्रीज को इसी विषय को लेकर बैठना चाहिए, क्या इसका किस प्रकार से हल हो सके। दूसरा, हरे चारे में जो शॉर्टेज आ रही है, उसके लिए मैं एक विचार प्रस्तुत करना चाहता हूँ। जो अपना रेलवे ट्रैक है, बहुत लंबा ट्रैक है देश में, और उसी के पैरेलल बहुत ही फाजल ज़मीन पड़ी हुई है। और पुराना मेरा एक स्मृति है, हमारे गांव में जब वो रेल निकलती थी तो वहाँ किलोमीटर 2 किलोमीटर के ट्रेस करके वो किसानों को वो किराए पे दे देते थे, तो उसी पर उनका कब्जा रहता था। वो कोई करते नहीं थे, मगर उसी पे वो अपने बैल चराते थे और उसी में से वो ग्रास को कटिंग करके इनका यूज़ करते थे। अब वो भी शायद बंद हो गया है। सो इतना बड़ा ट्रैक है, इसमें इसका इस्तेमाल कैसे किया जाए, उसके बारे में इंडस्ट्रीज को कोई प्लान बने और 100 किलोमीटर 200 किलोमीटर के ट्रैक को मैनेज करने का और उसी में से कुछ निकालने का ये व्यवस्था यदि हो जाएगी, तो मुझे लगता है कि कुछ रास्ता मिल जाता है। हाईवेज भी है और उसी में तो हम बीच में ग्रीनरी कर भी रहे हैं, उसको पानी भी पा रहे हैं और उसमें फल झाड़ ऐसे वैसे वृक्ष वगैरह लगाते हैं, वो काम में नहीं आ रहे हैं। क्या इसको हम कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं, क्या करना चाहिए, उस दिशा में भी हमें सोचना चाहिए। बहुत बड़े कैंपस में हम जब जाते हैं तो मुझे विचार आता है कि इतनी बड़ी वे लॉन मेंटेन करते हैं, बड़ी बड़ी ऑफिस में, बड़े बड़े कॉरपोरेट हाउसेस में, बड़े बड़े गवर्नमेंट कैंपसेस में बहुत बड़ी ग्रासलैंड जैसे वो मैनेज कर रहे हैं उसको लॉन के रूप में, और उसको मैनेज करने का और मेंटेनेंस करने का खर्चा उठा रहे हैं, उसमें से कुछ पैदा नहीं हो रहा है। तो ये हमारी ज़रूरतों को पूरा करने में कोई किसी प्रकार का कोई मॉडल इसमें से बन सकता है क्या, वो कर सकते हैं क्या, उसी दिशा में हम सोचेंगे। अब नए संसाधनों की ओर जाना ही जाना, अब जब ज़रूरत नहीं थी तो नहीं होता था, अब ज़रूरत है तो इसी दिशा में अगर हम कुछ करेंगे तो मुझे लगता है कि इसी का कुछ हल हो जाएगा। एक मेरे मन में वो विचार भी चल रहा है, मैंने आईसीआर के साथ शेयर किया है, वो लोग भी उस पर काम करना शुरू किया है, अभी नतीजे तक हम नहीं पहुँचे हैं। तो हमारे पूरे ग्रामीण इलाके में जो हमारे पशुओं की डेथ होती है तो वो बिल्कुल ही ऐसे ही उनका अंत्येष्टि हो जाती है। क्या होता है उसका भी कोई ठिकाना आता पता नहीं है। और ये भी एक बहुत बड़ा सोर्स है जिनकी आपको ज़रूरत है। स्वयं जी ने चिंता जताई है कि वो छोटी मछलियों को आप फिश मिल में इनका उपयोग हो जाता है, वो इंडस्ट्रीज़ के लिए फ़ायदेमंद होगा, मगर वो और फिशरमैनों के लिए बहुत घाटे का सौदा है। उसी के लिए हमें सोचना होगा। तो ये यदि इन पशुओं के बारे में उनका कोई प्रोसीजर हो डिस्पोज ऑफ करने का, या बहुत बड़ी संख्या है वो भी हमारे पास, ये भी हमारी स्ट्रेंथ है एक प्रकार से, मगर हम इसका इस्तेमाल नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो उसी के बारे में भी कुछ रणनीति हमें सोचनी चाहिए। ऐसे कुछ नए बिंदु थे मेरे विचार में। और आप इंडस्ट्रीज़ के साथ जो भी एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट वगैरह के लिए जो भी आपको बातें हैं वो बैठ के हम ज़रूर आगे और विभागों के सामने रखने की कोशिश करेंगे। आपके इस संगठन के अंदर जैसे बहुत विविधता भी है और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग से लेकर और भी कई यूनिट के और एसोसिएशंस के लोग आपके सबके साथ जुड़े हैं। मुझे लग रहा है कि इसमें अपना एनिमल हेल्थ सेक्टर थोड़ा अछूता रह गया है और पहले शायद नहीं भी था, इसका वो वजूद नहीं था, ऐसा मैं तो मानता हूँ। मगर अब भारत सरकार ने जिस प्रकार से इसमें इनिशिएटिव लिया है और हम मोबाइल वेटरनरी को जो जिस प्रकार से प्रोत्साहित कर रहे हैं, वैक्सीनेशन को जिस प्रकार से प्रोत्साहित कर रहे हैं, तो इसी के चलते उसी में भी बहुत बड़ा बदलाव आने की संभावनाएं शुरू हो जाएगी। और अभी आज ही एक विचार मेरे दिमाग में है, यहाँ बम्बई में ही एनजीओ के द्वारा 11 एम्बुलेंस इस बम्बई के एनिमल्स के सारवार के लिए अभी आज ही लोकार्पित हुए यहाँ बॉम्बे में और एनजीओ के द्वारा। तो स्वयं जी उस कार्यक्रम में मेरे मन में विचार आया कि हम जो एम्बुलेंस से राज्य सरकारों को दे रहे हैं और राज्य सरकारों को देने के बाद उसके खर्चे में भी हम 60-40 शेयर कर रहे हैं, तो ये मॉडल हम एनजीओ के लिए क्यों ओपन ना करें। उसमें तो हमें एम्बुलेंस भी नहीं देनी है। अगर वो राज्य सरकार इसको अप्रूव्ड समझे, ठीक समझे, उसका मॉनिटरिंग का कोई ठीक तरीका समझे, तो बिना इन्वेस्टमेंट के भी हमको एम्बुलेंस की सर्विसेज में सुविधा करने का। और पीपीपी मॉडल पे मुझे तो इसमें से ये लगा कि वो पीपीपी मॉडल में चलाने का एक नया रास्ता आज ही यहाँ बॉम्बे में ही गवर्नर हाउस में मुझे देखने को मिला है। तो इस प्रकार के प्रयोगों को बढ़ावा देने के कारण इसका हेल्थ सेक्टर में बहुत बड़ा बदलाव अपने देश में आ सकता है। तो फीड फॉडर के साथ इस हेल्थ को भी आपके इस छाता के नीचे लाओगे तो वन हेल्थ का जो कंसेप्ट अब देश में और दुनिया में आगे आ रहा है उन सभी को, क्योंकि ये खुराक है वो भी हेल्थ के ही हिसाब से है। वास्तव में तो कहीं पे एक जगह पे मैंने लिखा हुआ पढ़ा था, योर मेडिसिन इज योर फूड। ये ही है, मेडिसिन भी वही हो सकती है। उसी हिसाब से हमें इन सारी चीज़ों में देखेंगे तो बड़ा बदलाव और नए भारत की जो हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी की सोच है उस दिशा में कुछ कदम हम आगे बढ़ सकेंगे। इस अवसर पर आपने हमें निमंत्रित किया, हमारा बहुमान किया और कुछ शख्सियतों का स्वागत हमारे से आप करवाते हो। ये हमारे लिए सौभाग्य का विषय है कि ऐसे जो महानुभाव जिन्होंने अपने अपने क्षेत्रों में तपस्या की है, कुछ अचीवमेंट हासिल किए हैं, कंट्रीब्यूट किया है, उन्होंने खुद की कंपनी के लिए, खुद के परिवार के लिए किया है ऐसा नहीं है, वो नेशन के लिए भी कंट्रीब्यूट है। ऐसे लोगों को सम्मानित करने का अवसर ये अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की तरफ से मुझे मिला है, इसके लिए भी मैं आपका धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगी। फिर से मैं नीरज कुमार और उनकी पूरी टीम को बधाई देता हूँ, धन्यवाद करता हूँ और आप सबको शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ। और आपका जो सिम्पोसियम है 2 दिन का, उनमें भी आप सब मनोयोग से सम्मिलित होकर आपके जो टेक्निकल सेशंस हैं जिसमें आपको एक्सपर्टों के साथ इंटरेक्शन करने का मौका है, उसी में से जो भी नवनीत आगे निकल कर आएगा वो भी हम सरकार के सामने, हमारे सामने आप लोग रखेंगे, तो फिर आगे पॉलिसियों में क्या करना चाहिए उसमें भी हम इसका गंभीरता से कॉग्निजेंस लेंगे। इसी शब्दों के साथ पुनश्च आप सबका धन्यवाद, आप सबको नमस्कार, आप सबको नवरात्रि की ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं। जय माता जी।
मैं चाहूंगी कि एक बार फिर जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं माननीय मंत्री जी श्री पुरुषोत्तम रूपाला जी के लिए। उन्होंने कितनी सुंदरता से अपनी बात हम सभी के बीच रखी, यहाँ मुबारकबाद दी सभी विजेताओं को, और यहाँ पर इस तरह से हमें बताया कि हमेशा ही हमारा प्रोत्साहित वो करते रहेंगे। तो आज उन्हीं के हाथों हम चाहेंगे कि हमारी सर्वे रिपोर्ट का हम अनावरण करें। यहाँ अनवील कर रहे हैं वो सर्वे रिपोर्ट जो कि इंडस्ट्री हमेशा इंतजार में रहती है। 2017 के बाद आज हम इस रिपोर्ट को यहाँ पर पब्लिश कर पाए हैं आप सबके साथ के साथ। So after the pandemic has hit us, after 2017, we are coming back with CLFMA annual report, and may I request all of you to please put your hands together as the Honorable Minister and our dignitaries on the dais unveil the survey report, which really does publish robust industry survey report, something that the industry looks forward to reading and learning from. A round of applause from all of you right here. थैंक यू सो वेरी मच सर। आज समय कम हुआ लेकिन फिर भी आपने हमारे साथ यहाँ पर निभाया है, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहेंगे। एंड टू प्रपोज द फॉर्मल वोट ऑफ थैंक्स, मे आई प्लीज प्रेजेंट यू मिस्टर दिव्या कुमार गुलाटी, डेप्यूटी चेयरमैन क्लेफमा ऑफ इंडिया। अ राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर हिम प्लीज।
It's indeed my pleasure and privilege to perform the pleasant task of proposing the vote of thanks for this inaugural session. श्री पुरुषोत्तम रूपाला जी, मिनिस्टर साहब, आप हर बारी आते हो और हर बारी हमें मंत्रमुग्ध कर देते हैं। आपकी बातों से हमें इतनी प्रेरणा मिलती है कि रेलवे और हाईवे के लैंड के पास भी बहुत लैंड है, उसमें कुछ किया जाए। हम ऑफ कोर्स वी विल लुक एट इट सर कि कैसे करना है। आप ही के निर्देशन में AHIDF फंड बना, वो सक्सेसफुल हुआ। आपने नेशनल एडवाइजरी कमेटी बनाई और हम इंडस्ट्री वालों को उस एडवाइजरी कमेटी में रखा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर उसके लिए। हम गवर्नमेंट और इंडस्ट्री मिलकर वी कैन फाइंड सॉल्यूशंस फॉर आवर इंडस्ट्री। आई एम वेरी 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 थैंकफुल सर, आप आए टू ग्रेस द ओकेशन ओवर हियर। थैंक यू सो मच। श्री Jatinder Nath Swain ji, Secretary, Department of Fisheries. I remember when we went to the CLFMA team, when we went to invite him, we had a very long chat. He is very inquisitive by nature. So, हम तो गए थे 2 मिनट के लिए उनको invite करने के लिए, but we were sitting there for half an hour and discussing. And he was asking a lot of questions, and we understood the reason later on that why is he asking so many questions, because he wants to understand the industry so that he would be able to help the industry. And that is the kind of officers we need, that is the kind of partnership we need, that we work together with it. Thank you so much, Secretary Saab, thank you so much. Balram Singh Yadav ji, kya bataun, always mesmerizing. Keeps us on our toes, has in-depth knowledge about everything, presents the fact, gives the warnings, predicts the future. और क्या चाहिए भाई? What more do you want from an entrepreneur in India who does all this? Thank you so much for gracing the occasion and mesmerizing us as always. Congratulations, Anand Menon ji, for having the Lifetime Achievement Award. We are really, really thankful to you. You have contributed a lot to the industry. और ऐसे पुरुषोत्तम रूपाला जी ने भी बोला कि बस we must continue. It's not only serving the company which you worked for, but it's also indirectly serving the country. Thank you so much, sir. Congratulations, Rudranath Chatterjee also. Thank you for being part. I would also like to thank Tarun Sridhar ji. He's always been a part of us. He's always very, very active. And he's written so many articles also on animal husbandry, and we always look forward to your guidance, sir. Thank you for being here. I would also like to thank Mr. P.S. Mahesh. He's part of our family. He's always there at CLFMA events. We look forward always to your support. I think Raghavendra Bhatta Sahab bhi idhar honge shayad. He's also very actively involved. Thank you so much. I would like to thank INFA. I would like to thank PFI. I would like to thank KBFPA. We are all in it together. We have the same goal. And we always make the representations together. We always consult with each other. Thank you so much for being a part of us. I thank you, all the past chairmen, without whose guidance we could not have achieved anything. Whether it's the MC meeting, whether it's resolving issues, without your guidance, it's not possible to achieve anything. So thank you for being the support. Thank you for always guiding us through. We thank the office bearers, members of the management committee, for their continuous support. We have worked a lot this time. You've seen that in the past 2-3 years, how actively we are involved with the Government of India. And I hope that we keep ourselves involved and proactively involved with the government so that we can find solutions as partners. I would also like to thank Neeraj Kumar Srivastava, the chairman, under whose guidance I think we have done a lot. And I think he also needs a round of applause for whatever he has achieved in these 2 years. I would like to thank the convener, Mr. Suresh Doira, to putting all this together, to having us all be here. Thank you so much, Sureshji, so much. And most importantly, I would like to thank all the sponsors, the speakers, tomorrow, delegates, the government authorities, consultants, and all the members and guests of CLFMA. थैंक यू सो मच. और जाने से पहले सर एक और बात बोलना चाहूँगा सर, कल के जन्मदिन के लिए आज से ही आपको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं. हैप्पी बर्थडे इन एडवांस सर. थैंक यू सो मच.
थैंक यू सो वेरी मच मिस्टर गुलाटी. और सर हमें ऐसा लग रहा है कि आज आपने हमारे बीच यहाँ शामिल होकर हमारा मान बहुत बहुत बढ़ा दिया है. तो आपका एक बार फिर तहे दिल से धन्यवाद करना चाहेंगे और सभी की तालियों के बीच आज आपका शुक्रिया अदा करके विशिंग यू अ वेरी वेरी हैप्पी एंड सेफ जर्नी एंड बेस्ट विशेस फॉर योर बर्थडे सर. आप ही का परिवार यहाँ मना रहा है. एंड मे आई वंस अगेन थैंक ऑल ऑफ यू फॉर जॉइनिंग इन. मे आई प्लीज रिक्वेस्ट आवर गेस्ट टू रिमेन सीटेड एज आई टेक अ मोमेंट एंड थैंक all our partners, our sponsors for their support and their trust. May I thank our platinum partner Godrej Agrovet, Himalaya Wellness Company, Kemin, Novel Tech, Novus. May I also take a moment and thank our gold partners HEF, Indian Herbs, Norel NBPL, Cargill, ASS Amrit, We Are Soy, Vetogen. May I also thank our silver partners DSM, Evonic, Nandus, Natural Remedies, Nurture, Trout Nutrition. A big thank you to all our meal sponsors, our dinner sponsor, Adisio, Shanti, our lunch sponsors, Alltech, BASF, Komarla, Nutridian, KCPL. May I also thank our tea sponsors, Bentoli, Indian Trading Bureau Private Limited, our brochure sponsors, Alana, Siva, our media coverage partners, Business Line, our live coverage partner, HyBiz TV, and all of you. I look forward to seeing all of you for the networking evening at 7 p.m. So let's look ahead to a lot of music, dance, unwinding, cocktails and dinner. Thank you so much. This is Isha Bhalla thanking all of you for joining us. PM as we look forward to networking with all of you right here. Thank you for joining us.